My name is Josephine Lang, and I'm so glad you're tuning into this video because I used to re-injure my rotator cuff, my shoulders, about once or twice a year. I did it for many years, like 10 years, where I would have a bad injury or a re-injury, as you would call it. And then I started taking this class in fitness training at the adult school. And when I was doing these repeated exercises to strengthen my arms and the area around my shoulder, I stopped having little rotator cuff injuries. Now, there were a couple of things I had to pay attention to. For instance, you never want to grab your big heavy purse out of the back of the seat of the car and bring it forward, or reach for a heavy book over behind you and bring that forward. That's one of the ways that I have re-injured my shoulders. The other thing that can happen is when you're getting up out of a chair. I used to joke that I'm one of the few people I know who could have an injury in a rocking chair. But what I would do is, as I was getting up, I would put my hands on the arms of the rocking chair and I would push myself up using my arms. And that would cause too much strain because we're supposed to be using our legs, our big muscles in our legs, for getting ourselves up out of a chair. So anyway, after I have managed to heal, and I have 2 other videos online on my YouTube channel for Josephine Lang, then I was able to go ahead and prevent further re-injuries. And I'm just going to run through these exercises with you now to just show you how to try to strengthen this part of your body. So now, I usually do these exercises with weights, but when you're first recovering from an injury, you probably don't want to use weights at all. You just want to use just your arms. However, if you don't have weights, I have also used, like a couple of cans of beans or something. That'll work just fine to get started. But I'm going to demonstrate these exercises with weights so you can see how they're done. And the first one is just a very simple bicep curl. And so we do that by just lifting carefully. You want to have your knees slightly bent, your legs about shoulder width apart, and your body relaxed. And then you just go ahead and do repetitions of the biceps curls. I like to do about 12 repetitions of each particular exercise, and then I might do just one side first, and then the other side, and maybe I'll do another 12 of those. And then I'll go ahead and do maybe 8 repetitions and move on down the line like that. Now, the biceps are one of our stronger muscles, so that's a good place to start. And then as well, you can also take these to the side. So just relaxing the arms. I always like to encourage people to have their shoulders down, their neck long and relaxed. And then just again, moving this biceps here out at the side. Repeat it again, and then again you can do left and right. And I like to start off with a very light weight when you're first going, and then of course you can increase the weight. Now, another thing when you're doing exercises with weights is I don't like to go to the full extension of the arm because you can injure the joint that way. I like to go just almost to the end. And then another thing is you don't want to swing or move your body to get the weight to move. You just want to let the muscle do the work. So then another exercise that I like to do for strengthening the shoulder area is where we turn the weights this way, palms facing you, and then we go ahead and lift them up. And from here, having our arms out just a little bit like this, we want to go ahead and lift them up where we can still see the weights. We don't want to have it so that we don't want to have it too far forward or straight up. We want to be able to see the weights, like this. And again, first one, then the other, and then together, like that. And then being very careful bringing them down to the sides so that we're not just like flinging our arms around. This one coming from the outside like this. All right. Now for the next weight exercise, this one is called the upright row. And you just bring your weights down by your hips and then you just lift them up. And again, being careful to have those soft knees, slightly bent. I also have a soft hip. I'm neither thrusting my pelvis forward nor sticking my rear end out too far. Just gently, kind of in a neutral position. And then the other thing that I like to do is to not hold my body stiff. I'm not stiff all over. I'm relaxed and actually free to move should I have need to move. And so this is a lovely way, and again, the repetition is great. And when you would start off, of course, in your healing, you would only do a couple of repetitions of each one, and then later on, you're going to do more repetitions and gradually get to heavier weights. Another exercise is known as for Arnold Schwarzenegger made this one quite popular. So we call this the Arnold. And for this one, you go ahead and bring the weights up, like in the upright row, bring them up, and then this is the part where they clean it. I don't know why they call it that, but they do. And then you push it up so that you can see it overhead. Again, not too far back, not too forward, but just upright. So here's the exercise. The rowing up, the cleaning, and the pushing. Down, clean, and down. Up, clean, and push. Down, clean, and down. And again, you can do these with one arm, if you like. Whoopsie. Or both arms. So now another wonderful exercise for strengthening the shoulder is just the forward lift. And what I'm using right here is a 2-pound weight. I most commonly use a 3-pound weight. But like I said, when you're first starting, you want to go with something very light or just your arms alone if you're recently healing from an injury. And so this is one again that you can do alternating the arms or together the arms with the forward lift. Again, the soft spine, soft and kind of relaxed and gentle. The knees soft and relaxed, and the hips soft and relaxed. And then as well, another variation on this would be slightly out to the diagonal. And my wonderful teacher who has taught me these exercises at the adult school, Michelle Alexis, she likes to say that we're pouring the water out here. So we're pouring the water out here. We're just going ahead and allowing the arm to come up. And again, we're not swinging, we're placing. We're trying to place the weight. We're not, using our body to swing it up and down. That's where we can kind of get injured if we are getting too frisky and wild with our weights. So we want to just go kind of easy. And this again is on the diagonal. It's neither straight out to the side, nor is it forward. It's right in the middle, pouring the water out. And you can do 2 at a time, and then the alternating 1 at a time. That's the diagonal lift. Now, another exercise that's very important for this healing is the tricep. And so with this one, what we want to do is kind of bend slightly forward at the hip. You can have your feet about a shoulder length apart with your knees slightly soft, or you can have one leg slightly in front of the other. And then with a nice flat back and keeping the shoulders level. I'm not doing this with my shoulders. I'm keeping them level. And then with the one, just place and steady the one weight on my thigh. And then with the other weight, I go ahead and extend out to the back. This is a wonderful exercise for strengthening the shoulders and the rotator cuff. So that's just moving out to the back like that. And again, many repetitions. You can change legs, do the other arm, one at a time. And you'll notice that my elbow is quite still. And yet, see, I'm free to move. I can turn my head. I'm not rigid. I'm in a position, but it's a softly held position. So the elbow is still. And I'm just moving from the elbow down towards the hand. So now, another one for the triceps is to go ahead and place, if you want to do 2 weights, you can, or you can do 1 weight. If you do 2 weights, you want to hold them quite carefully in your hands, so not to injure your hands. And then you carefully lift them up to the position overhead. And then you go ahead and straighten your hands up. Just lifting the weights up like this. And then as well, you can do just little ones at the top, like this. And then some right here in the middle, and then some a little lower down. And then back to the full range again. And again, here you're going to be using, first just your arms, then the lightest of weights, and then heavier weights as you get more accustomed and as your muscles get stronger. and starting off with few repetitions, moving to more. So now I'm going to very carefully move these weights down in front and then separate them and drop them down. And now another one that I love to do is the flying, and this is like a bird. And so again, with soft hips and soft legs, moving slightly forward with a nice flat back, letting the arms drop down, and then going ahead and flying. Yay! And here again, I'm not just throwing my arms around, I'm carefully placing them up in the upright spot. And you can do this one singly as well, or alternate, or together. And starting off perhaps with a dozen repetitions and then moving down to maybe 8 or 6 or 5 or 4 on, first this side and then that side and then together. That is a great way to go. And now then, another one that I think was also an Arnold Schwarzenegger exercise. And this one is really great for the rotator cuff. And of course, you wouldn't do all of these exercises to start. You would start with a few of them when you're healing, maybe the biceps curls out to the side and some of these lifts. And then, as the weeks progress, you add in a few more exercises each time. So these are just to show you some of the exercises that you can do, but when you're first recovering, you don't want to do all of them. You want to do a few. And here is one that I just really love for rotator cuff. And with this one, we start with our arms out to the side, and you'll notice my palms are facing you. Now I'm going to turn it in and bring it out like that. And then up, and you'll see the palm is facing again. So the wrist does rotate in this exercise. And then here's the other arm. And then here's together. And they can cross. And that should get you started on healing your rotator cuff injuries, preventing more re-injuries with the rotator cuff. Like I said, after I started doing these exercises on a regular basis, I've not had a single rotator cuff injury since then, re-injury since then. So may this bless you and help you as you move through your world, and being careful of our shoulders. They're wonderful, beautiful parts of ourselves. And if you get a chance, please check out my website. It's stepintomagic.com. Bye for now.